Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back, Droid Life Show. Today, episode 230. It is Friday, April 3rd. I'm your host, Cal. Let me Tim, say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? Tim here. Wah, 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 wah.
Thanks for joining us once again. We're still in a weird time. We are still in a weird time. We're still all basically quarantined, stuck in our houses, apartments, whatever. And it feels good, at least, again, to get back on air, see some faces, talk to people. So thank you for joining us live, or if you're just, listening after the fact, good to just be able to talk to folks. So on today's show, big topics, of course. We'll update you on some COVID coronavirus related stuff as far as carriers go, like we did last week. We got big T-Mobile Sprint merger news. They're claiming they are officially done and merged and ready to move on. Talk a little bit about that. My S20 review is up. Tim's V60 review is up. We'll run through those. There's all sorts of OnePlus rumors and leaks and that sort of thing going on. Apple bought an app that we really liked.
And we're mad about it.
Yeah, we're really mad. The news is not good there. There's an Android 11 developer preview update this week as well. And trivia is back. So if you're new around here, we do trivia every week at the end of every show after we run through our list of topics. We have 5 questions. We have prizes for 5 winners. This week we're just gonna give you guys cash.
Cool hard cash.
We in the past we've done like Google Play credit, chargers, shirts, sweatshirts, backpacks, phones. We give away phones, some stuff. But this week though, we were looking at, because we're all at home, we were trying to think of like a service we could give subscriptions to, maybe like Netflix or Disney Plus. Disney Plus is the one we really wanted to do. And Disney Plus won't let you do a month of service as a gift subscription. They're only doing years. And so that's like $70. And I promise we're not trying to be cheap. We may do that one of these days, just start gifting everyone years to Disney Plus. So anyways, that was the initial idea that fell through. So we're just going to give you money. You can subscribe to whatever you want. You could go buy beer. You could, whatever. It'll be up to you. So if you win, we're just gonna give you $15. I hope that works. You can do whatever you want with it at that point. Cool.
Yeah. My thought was just I want people to be able to have like a month of content that they can enjoy or whatever. So whether you want to spend it on Disney Plus or alcohol, it's totally up to you. The choice is yours.
Of course, those are the 2 options we're leaning. I'm just kidding. You
Disney
can use
Plus
it
or
on
beer.
Whatever. Yeah. Use whatever. So anyway, when we get to trivia, we'll do that. We'll figure it out. PayPal, Google Pay, however you can accept funds from us to allow you to consume content. Anyway, so at the end of the show, we'll run through some topics first, though, and then we will get there. All right, we'll start with coronavirus stuff. Coronavirus, yes, we're still all quarantined in our homes and our offices. So as far as updates go there, last week we told you about all of the carriers and what they're doing. So 2 updates this week. Last week, AT&T's prepaid and Cricket Wireless, which is one of their sort of prepaid affiliates, they said they were giving everyone some data. So this week, AT&T's normal customers, that always sounds so weird. AT&T's non-prepaid customers, I should say, on specific unlimited plans are getting an extra 15 gigabytes of hotspot data. Basically, you have to be on unlimited elite or unlimited. What's the other one? Their plans are so weird. Unlimited elite and unlimited extra. They also have an unlimited starter plan, but I don't believe that's eligible. It's only eligible for people who already have plans with hotspot data, and those are the only 2. So if you are, you get extra data. As of yesterday, you should have gotten an extra 15 gig. And then Google Fi announced yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, that they are extending grace period for late payments, and they're also increasing their full speed data limit up to 30 gig. What was it at? Was it at 20 or 22 like everyone always does? What was it?
Yeah, something like that.
So anyway, if you're on Fi, Google Fi, you now get 30 gigabytes of high speed data before they sort of start throttling you down. You can still buy more full speed for 10 gig. So,
hey,
I'm sorry, $10 per gig.
$10 a gig. Yeah,
sorry, $10 a gig.
$10 for a gig. I mean, oh, gee.
Yeah, that is always seen like just an outrageous number. I mean, they're giving you what's a Fi plan cost for that first 30 gig, like $50 total maybe, and that gives you unlimited talk and text and stuff.
That sounds right.
And then
it's been years since I tried Fi.
And then it's $10. Wait, is it really $10 per gig?
Yes.
This just sounds absurd now that I'm saying this out loud. So you get 30 gig for like $50, and then after, okay, I'll just stop because I'm gonna just get mad when I start thinking about it. Because I'll never forget when the unlimited plans first went away, and all the other carriers started charging us per gig, and they wanted, I think at the time, out of the gate, places like Verizon wanted $15 per gig. Do you remember those days? And they were only giving you like 4 or something like that. Unreal.
Yep, $10 a gig, just to confirm. Sorry.
So
wah.
Anyway, so there's lots of stuff carriers are doing if you're running into issues, paying your bill. They're not going to charge you late fees. They're not going to shut you off. At least they're committing to doing that. They're pledging to do that. As a part of the FCC asking them all to do that. And then a lot of them are giving away free data, offering cheaper plans and things like that. Like Boost Mobile, we haven't written this up yet, but Boost Mobile, they were a part of Sprint. They got sold off, right? No, they're still technically a part of Sprint, but I think they're going away. Anyway, they just launched a 2 gig, $15 plan this morning, I believe. Charles just dropped $20, says still stuck in a hotel on, what is TDY?
TDY. I don't know.
City on lockdown, but I have you guys to cheer me up. Thanks, Charles. Appreciate the $20.
TDY.
But you got to tell me what that means.
A temporary duty employee works for the U.S. government, stationed on a temporary basis away from his permanent job location. That sounds right.
Okay. Damn.
Temporary duty assignment. Dang. Sorry, man. That blows.
That is brutal. Hopefully, there's some people around that you could talk to or know or something. Okay. Jeez. All right. I'm assuming you're probably there for a while too. Damn. All right. Appreciate the dono.
Thoughts?
I think those are all the COVID related updates to start with. Let's talk about T-Mobile Sprint for just a minute. So T-Mobile and Sprint have been trying to merge for it's like 2 years, almost to the day. Obviously, they've jumped through hurdles. The government said no, and then yes, and then no, and then yes, and then the states said no, and now most of them have said yes. And here we are. So April 1st rolled around. And by the way, everyone skipped April Fool's Day. Actually, not everyone. Not everyone skipped April Fool's Day, but almost everyone, including Google, skipped April Fool's Day.
Thank God.
Was, very nice, actually. I wish they would skip it every year. But they announced this They announced this on April 1st that they've completed their merger, and John Ledger's stepping down, and Mike Sievert's taking over. And we knew that was going to happen, but it's happening a little bit sooner. I think Ledger was supposed to stay on towards the end of April. Now he's just stepping down right away. He's still going to remain on the board, I think, for a little bit or something. So Sievert takes over. T-Mobile is the new T-Mobile, still T-Mobile, but Sprint will go away at some point. At this point, though, nothing really changes for anyone. Like Sprint customers, you still pay your Sprint bill through Sprint. Like all of that stuff, your plan stays the same, your payments, all of that stuff stays the same. At some point, you will probably be transitioned over then to T-Mobile. There's no guarantee that you're going to keep the plan that you had on Sprint and any of that stuff. You'll probably have to join their payment portal and all of that. But that's not happening now. They have to do what they said was basically behind the scenes stuff to get ready for that to happen. So yeah, right now, everything's normal. T-Mobile people, you're on T-Mobile. Just nothing is changing for you at all. So at some point down the road, you may have new plans to choose from, things like that. But you're already with T-Mobile. You're staying with T-Mobile. So some of the promises, obviously, they've talked about they're going to build out the biggest, baddest 5G network ever. I don't doubt that they will, because Sprint has a bunch of mid-band spectrum, which is kind of like the good, juicy spectrum that everyone's going to want. Sprint has a lot.
Holy grail.
Yeah, so combining the low of T-Mobile and the mid of Sprint, they actually probably will have a pretty sweet 5G network, and then eventually they'll add the millimeter wave stuff on. So that'll happen. And one of the big things, though, they're talking about is they're going to create essentially internet service for a whole bunch of people who either don't have any options or many options, and give them decent speeds. And they said they're going to do that. And, within 6 years, they should cover, I think, like 90% of the US. That's great. We'll see if that happens. The big thing, though, that everyone should focus on is that T-Mobile said we won't raise prices for 3 years after this merger's done. So we kind of told you to start the clock because in 3 years, I mean, it's fair to say, right, that we should just expect a pay increase or a price increase on plans, right? They're only committing to 3 years. And I know they've said in the future, this merger with Sprint will lead to lower prices and better plans and things like that. Of course, they have to say these things to get approved. So in 3 years, it's all out the window, all those promises and guarantees for the most part. So in 3 years, if your price goes up, do not be surprised at all. We're down to 3 carriers essentially. Look, I don't know Canada's wireless situation that well. I'm not Canadian. I don't live in Canada. I don't follow it that closely. But they have 3 carriers, and everyone's worried that ours system is going to turn similar to theirs. And the only things I know about Canada's wireless service industry is that they were doing 3-year contracts for a really long time. They still might be. And that their phones often seem very expensive. So if that happens to us, that sucks because our phones are already expensive. And I don't know that, well, we've seen T-Mobile already dabble in 3-year contracts. Remember when they started doing 3-year payment plans, which are contracts? So, you know, I don't know. We got 3 years before we have to probably really start worrying. And that time's probably going to go really fast.
Well, hopefully, maybe in 3 years, we can go back outside and stuff. I'm looking forward to 3 years from now. I feel like my mind has just been on so many other things, and like it's so weird to see like this major news take place, and it just seems like sort of like a back burner issue with everything going on. And especially since both you and I were working on reviews this week. Yeah, I feel like we didn't really talk much about this, but yeah, at the moment, I mean, like nothing's changed. I'm a T-Mobile customer. I didn't receive a text saying, "Hey, Sprint has joined the T-Mobile family" or anything like that. So yeah, nothing's happening right now. Congratulations to Sprint customers. Hopefully, maybe one day soon they're going to be on a real network, and that's going to be pretty sweet for them, I bet. So congratulations. I mean, if anyone's winning, this is Sprint customers. So. Good stuff.
Probably. Although they're really, 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 really cheap lease programs and stuff like that will definitely be going away.
Yeah, most likely.
So that's the only thing that's going to suck for them. But they probably will get a much better network.
Oof. Yep.
Yeah, so not much else to say there because nothing's really changing at the moment other than Ledger leaving. Do you care that John Ledger is leaving?
I do care, actually. However, yeah, I mean, I'm going to miss like all of his Red Bull antics. That guy was just so, you look up the word hype in the dictionary and you might see a picture of freaking Ledger's face, man. The guy was cool. Now who's to say how many of like the cool things that T-Mobile did were his ideas? It's very unlikely that he was actually the brainchild, I feel like, of a lot of like the things T-Mobile did to really, gain excitement and sort of passion from customers.
He was a personality, yeah.
Exactly. He's a personality, a great personality, one that was like really needed in this stuffy, crappy world of wireless carriers in the US. I mean, when you think Verizon and AT&T, I think old white guys with graying hair and their suits, and we've met them. We've even partied with these people. They're okay people, but like, I mean, Ledger was just sort of on a different level. So I will miss him. I hope that whatever he does, I mean, I'm sort of the mentality where I want to eat the rich. So, and I know this guy just made an absolute ton of money, but well deserved. I mean, he turned T-Mobile into a serious competitor in this landscape. So congrats to him. I suppose he deserves all of that money. And Godspeed, John Ledger. I just imagine him now getting into like a rocket ship and just blasting back to whatever planet he came from, like he's like, my job here is done.
I mean, he'll just join some other company and just be just as obnoxious. Like, he's probably already got it lined up, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see. What? There was the rumors that he was going to join WeWork as CEO to fix them. And I suppose talk about the worst company to join right now, considering no one can do shared spaces like that. So. Yeah, poor WeWork. They're probably doomed, but
I mean, they probably were anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna miss Ledger. Like early on when he brought out the first couple of uncarriers, it was kind of nice to listen to him trash talk the industry because the wireless carrier industry is awful. I mean, it's filled with a bunch of players who despise you as a person and just want every single dollar you have. And
Yes.
that might sound harsh, but they are not pro-consumer. And I'm not saying John Ledger necessarily is. He spun some words and twisted some things and changed some things, and I think he did some good stuff. Again, I appreciate the little bit of trash talk. A little bit. He did a lot of trash. I appreciate the trash talk to all the stuff he suits. So I do like some of that. That said, it just got old. It got how many years he was a CEO for, like 7 years. It's been too many years of John Ledger's antics, and so it's one of those things. Like, it's funny for a while, and then
you got over it.
Yeah.
Well,
so anyway, I will
stopped
miss
kind
it
of
a
paying
little bit.
attention. Like, I definitely stopped paying as much attention. Like, when he spoke, people listened initially because he was cursing.
Yes,
God forbid. Oh, I'm clutching my pearls. He said like a no word. And I think a lot of, what was it, Robert Chang? There's a lot of reporters who had like sort of like that special relationship with him because he was real. But yeah, I mean, he was a character. Let's just say that.
He was a character. I'm sure he is not done. Somebody will be like, yes, please come do that for us now.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, T-Mobile Sprint, it's technically done. I thought I saw something the other day that said California is like, whoa. We didn't say you could yet. So who knows? But for the most part, this thing's done.
California, get over yourself. I mean, the world's most pretentious state. It's ridiculous. They think they run the place. It's ridiculous.
What are they? The biggest economy and third biggest economy in the
sixth?
Seventh?
I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, it was the seventh. It could be bigger now. I don't know. They can't do nothing right. Those do nothing lids. I'm just kidding. Oh man. Yeah, I gotta stay off of Twitter.
Yeah, you do. Reviews. We'll do this quickly. Galaxy S20. My review's finally done this week. We talked about it quite a bit last week, so I don't want to spend too much time. But Galaxy S20, I really like this phone. I know that's kind of an unpopular thing for tech reviewers to say, apparently, at this point. And whatever. I like this phone a lot. Here, look, I even have a case on it. Look at this leather Samsung case.
That's nice.
It's actually really nice. I like this phone. Not ashamed to say that. Display's great. Battery life's been fine. Performance is good. All that stuff. I kind of like all the software tweaks that Samsung throws on here. There's a disappointment. Yes, it is the camera. For $1,000, the camera is not.
It's not good enough.
No, it's not really good enough. Which is weird because it is $1,000 phone. It's an S20, and this isn't the S10e last year where they kind of dumbed some things down. It's supposed to have all the goods. The cameras. Anyway, I like the phone. If the camera was excellent, I'd love this phone, and I'd be telling everyone they're a fool for not loving it. But I'm just gonna go with it's great. Looking forward to the Pixel 4a just to change it up a little bit. After that, I have no idea because somebody's got to wow me at this point. I left the 4XL. It was fine. This phone I really like, except the camera. I looked at the pictures I've taken. I'm like, now I don't like you so much. Pixel 4a will be fine, I'm sure. I don't know. Kind of not looking forward to the year so far. Somebody better. Maybe the OnePlus 8 and 8 Pro will be the ultimate phones, and then I'll be satisfied.
Everything I've heard so far, like I'm really looking forward to those phones. That one kind of like color leak or whatever we saw, like it looks dope. So we'll see. As for the S20, I just feel the same way. Like the Ultra, and that's the phone I'm using now. Now that I'm done with the V60, hallelujah. We'll get to that. And all the people I'm fighting with currently on social media. No, I'm just the same way. The S20 Ultra would be the ultimate phone, like the ultimate. It would kick all your phone's butts if it had a better camera system. And I know I just started reusing the thing now that it has the update.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to kind of going back and just maybe seeing if the camera's a little bit better, but I'm not seeing like a huge improvement already. So I don't know. I mean, for $1,400, you just expect
better be the greatest smartphone camera ever.
It better be really good. But at the same time, we have loved phones in the past that did not have great cameras, namely like the Moto X's and all that stuff. So
that's true.
It's possible to love a phone that doesn't have the best camera, but these days, like that's really what people I think value greatly is the camera.
I mean, this phone, like size wise, it's fits perfect in the hand. It's not large. I even have the stupid case on it and it feels fine in hand. Like I like almost everything about this phone, including the design and all of that stuff. It's just I wanted the camera to blow my mind. It didn't. It's still totally fine. It still takes good pictures. It's just, kind of worry about night pictures and things like that. Samsung's still not where Google is and some of these other companies. So I don't know. I'll probably continue using it for a while until the next thing comes around. And then I guess we'll see if the next thing that comes around, I think is better than this. I will say though, that the size I'm probably going to miss because I assume from all the leaks and stuff that the new OnePlus phones are ginormous. Like every new damn phone is. So
Yep.
Anyway, S20 reviews up. If you want to read it, it's at the site.
Nice.
Speaking of other phones that I definitely will not be trying. You just reviewed the LG V60.
Yeah, the LG V60. I've got it right here. I feel bad.
Is that a Note
Sorry?
8? Is that a Note 9? Note?
Oh, yeah. It's like a lot of other phones you may have seen in the past. So my main problem with the phone is like it's not a bad phone. Like if you read my review, there's not a lot of things that stick out in the not so good section. In fact, I don't think there even is one. It's just a lot of like middle of the road. Like this phone is just and like I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I think the phone is just really boring. Like the phone is beyond boring. There's no real highlight to it. There's nothing, no wow factor. And so this is where people get upset because they think that a headphone jack is the most important thing on a phone. They think that the quad DAC is super important. And like if you're those people, that's totally fine. Like
that's your phone.
Then that's your phone. Absolutely. Like I'm not trying to belittle you or belittle what you value. I'm just saying for me, and that's all I ever speak for. I only speak for myself in these reviews is like, this phone for me just wasn't it. It's got a good camera. That's like, that kind of one thing it's got going for it. Good camera with the manual modes, the manual camera and video modes.
And battery life's nuts, right?
Battery life is insane. 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I was pulling like almost 10 hours of screen on time every 2 days.
That's actually absurd. Yeah.
I just wasn't plugging it in at night, and the thing would just last. And I'm watching videos. Like I'm stuck here at home, so I'm using my phone a lot. So it had excellent battery life, but you get that good battery life because this phone is lacking. Like there's no quad HD display. There's no 90 or 120 hertz refresh rate. Like the phone is just, there's no wow to it. This phone, it would be perfectly contempt in the year 2017 or 2018 as like a really impressive phone for starting at $800 on T-Mobile. You throw in that dual screen. Phones have had dual screens before. We've seen this. This is not very interesting. The way it's implemented is okay if you like really need multitasking or you want a secondary display for a game controller type of thing. But as Scott McDonald says in the chat, LG lacks vision 100%. The one time they did try to have some vision with the modules with the G5, it was terrible, and they failed royally. Thankfully, they realized that mistake and cut it off after a single year. So, I don't have any problems with the phone. The phone is good. I just disliked using it because it was extremely boring. The software is so bland, it's painful. I took comparisons with the LG V40 from 2 years ago, and it's still running the Android 8 Oreo because I never updated it. It's just been sitting in my office, and it looks identical. And this has the brand new LG UX 9.0 software. That software that was teased last year, I think in late November, and we were all hyped about it. Yeah, turns out all they did was like reskin a couple of apps. And they made like the top menu name in the settings larger. Like it's just a bolder font. Yeah. So like I'm just so let down by LG. I feel like they have so much, they could do so much better. And that's the problem. I mean, it's got the V6 and 5G, it's just not worth it. So like, and we've talked about the whole 5G thing. It's just not quite there yet. Yeah. And I think the carriers, and then I'm theorizing here, but I think the carriers bullied LG into pushing out the V60 simply because it has 5G. And I suppose the G9 wasn't going to have it. So LG sort of rushed this product. It feels that way. Really? Not that it's half baked or anything, but just that it's like this phone offers nothing besides the dual screen. Like that's it. there's really nothing to sell here. Like if you put this phone up against an S20, who is not going to take the S20? I mean, okay, now people who are like the vinyl connoisseurs, right? Like vinyl is the best way to live. I got some vinyl. I appreciate the way it sounds, dude, but I'm not going to be out here like, I'm not arguing with people on Twitter like MP3 sound like crap. Vinyl is the only way to listen to music. Like you got to have a quad DAC. Oh my Lord, people, calm down with this whole audio thing. Like, anyway.
The audio crowd is very, very loud and opinionated. They might be small, but they are very opinionated.
Yeah, which is I love that. I love passion. It reminds me of like the metal crowd, the metal scene, where you have like the subgenres of metal, and everyone is sort of like in their own cliques, and there's just bickering back and forth about what's better, who's better, what's the best. Oh my God, everyone's got their own personal preferences. And I spoke mine in the review, and I stand by those. And that's totally fine if you disagree. And
I looked at your review and went, well, I kind of keep coming back to the same thing I asked you the day you walked out of the briefing, and I went, Tim, what's the sell here? Like, what's the reason people are going to buy this? And you were like, I don't know. It's the same stuff. And then they dropped the display resolution back. Didn't upgrade the refresh rate like everyone else in the industry is doing.
Yeah.
And not that we have to pile on cameras. There's no telephoto if you want to take away from that, right?
Sure.
They didn't add new. Like if you look at this, what did they add that's new
5G,
compared to?
That's it.
Right. Okay. So they put the 865 in there and 5G. So that's new. Over what the G8X is borderline this phone, just without the 865 and 5G. That has dual screen and a 1080p display. Does the G8X have a quad DAC? It probably has something. It definitely has a headphone jack.
It probably does because they started including the hi-fi DAC in its G series. So it would not surprise me.
I'm trying to look right now.
Yeah, go for it. I know neither you and I touched the G8X, so
I have one in a box right there. It has a DAC, 32-bit DAC, 6.4 inch full HD, 8 Snapdragon 55, 6 GB RAM, 128 GB storage, 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It has a 12 megapixel standard shooter and a 13 megapixel ultra. It's so similar to that phone outside. So again, it goes back to what's new. What are you selling people over even the G8X, a phone they released not that long ago? And I don't know. I guess it's the DAC still, and I guess it's this dual. They're really pushing the dual screen. It's fine. These are like categories of things that I'm. Maybe you and I are just clearly not the target audience. But I think like we fall in the majority audience also because people aren't buying these. LG's not ever reporting great numbers. So I guess maybe we're just in the Hollywood review, the Hollywood review group. A little inside joke there. I just don't understand like what they're trying to do. I don't know. This isn't reaching a mass audience with it. You have to bring new ideas that aren't just slapping a second screen onto a giant thick case that creates a weird charging pin situation. And then you're hoping that everyone cares about headphone jack still. So it's very weird. I'm not. What I think drives me nuts is that, there's like this small group of people that every time we're like, this phone's just nothing special. They get really loud and mad. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, why do you feel like you have to defend LG so much? Like Samsung's made bad phones and we've told them they're bad. Google, we've said they have bad. Like we're not just picking on LG. If your phone's just uninspiring, we'll tell it. We'll call it. It's just so weird.
I feel like I also have to reiterate. Or not even reiterate, but just say, I don't know if I was hard enough on the software too. Like I think about LG's software updates and stuff, and people who stick with this phone or stick with LG phones in general, like, okay, you want an LG device, prepare for hardly any support, and support that just seems to be getting worse and worse. Thankfully, LG has stopped putting out a ton of phones each year, so I guess they can focus whatever resources they have left in that department to just a smaller group of devices. But these phones just hardly see those major updates, at least in a timely fashion. They get them, they just come late and after everybody else. So the software, yeah, I mean, Sarah in the chat says, Tim, you weren't hard enough on the software. Like, I think you're right. I just, okay, so just from full transparency here, when you're writing a review that's critical, it's hard for me to be overly critical because I know that when I'm critical, I have to be very, I guess, precise, and I really have to articulate the points as to why I'm being critical. I can't just say, "Oh, it sucks," and then just say it sucks. I have to explain why it sucks. So a lot of times with this phone in particular, and because I've been stuck inside, I haven't really used the phone like maybe as I normally would. I've just been sort of sitting around the house and watching YouTube videos, looking at Instagram. So, I could tell the software is, not ideal. And, especially coming from like the rewritten Android UI or One UI from Samsung, and then the Pixel before that, like this phone just felt sluggish. The software is no good to use. I didn't have any fun using this device, except the problem is I know that there are those LG fans out there, and I know they're going to love this phone. So I tried to be very middle of the road about the way I wrote this. And some people were still mad at me, even though I never said there was really anything bad with it. I just said it wasn't for me. Even that's apparently offensive to them. So I don't know, man. It's hard to write reviews about phones you really dislike using, because I don't want to trash on it like so hard where people think I'm getting paid to trash it or something. Like it's hard. So just know that I didn't like the phone. But if you want to spend $800 on it for the quad DAC and a dual display, that the companies sell, that say the carrier. Okay, so the carriers sell the device, you buy the device, and then you don't even get the display, dual display with the phone. You have to get it through LG, and that's how it is with AT&T and Verizon. I think T-Mobile, it comes with the package, but you have to redeem the dual display from LG, and who knows how long that's going to take with what's going on.
Like, just put it in the down box.
I know.
Like, this separation thing is so stupid. The selling point, from what I gather, is this thing has a quad DAC and it does dual display. If you're gonna sell it to people, include the stupid display and don't charge people an extra $200 for it or whatever the hell they're doing, or at least $100. Just include it. Just say, like, this is why you should buy this. You get a second display. It's dope. Maybe that makes more sense, but we're getting, like, Verizon, it's what, $950? And we don't even think it comes with a display.
I updated my review. I got an email this morning from Verizon clarifying that their wording on their website is confusing because they bunched promos together. It is wrong. And they expressed that to me. They said, "Whoops, sorry. New and existing customers do get the dual screen display for free with the $950 price, but they have to get the offer from LG." So
yeah, because yesterday we looked.
Yes,
we looked triple checked yesterday, and Verizon's website at the bottom said sold separately. It doesn't. Anyway. Well, I'm glad they clarified. I'm glad people do get it for $950 because it was going to be the worst deal in smartphone history at $950 if it didn't come with that. So.
Yeah. Only on T-Mobile can you buy it separately.
Yeah.
For $100, $799 versus $899 with the display. So just to clarify. So yeah, stay away from the V60 unless you need it. And I hate saying that. And I had to say that in the review. It's like, I want LG to be good. I don't want this whole Android ecosystem dominated by Samsung. I'm really sick of that. I miss having Moto phones to look forward to, having LG phones to look forward to, HTC phones to look forward to, maybe even a Sony phone to look forward to. Burtser, shout out to Burt's. So I don't know. LG just has lost their way completely.
You bring up an interesting point, though, that I don't think a lot of people understand is we don't like to write reviews that say products suck or that we're not fans. Like, that's not, like, I don't think you and I got into this to be the, like, trasher of all phones. Like, that's not who we are. Like, I like playing with new products and I want them all to be great so that you all have tons of choices. When I'm holding a phone and it sucks, it doesn't bring me pleasure to write that it sucks. Yeah. Like, for example, the Suunto 7 smartwatch. Oh. I have one in a drawer right behind me. You guys know I unboxed it and I was going to review it. That watch is awful and it's $500 and I can't bring myself to review it because, well, number one, I haven't been able to find like the outdoorsy activity, although now might be a good time too. to give it the full test there. But my first like week with it on the wrist and first few runs I did and stuff, I had so many weird results from it that I later saw in another review or somebody confirmed they were having the same issues, that I was just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore, and I'm just going to trash this thing. And I know like people also need to see reviews where we trash things so that they don't go buy it. I get that too. But what I'm saying is like, it's not fun. When something sucks, like Tim and I don't get pleasure in trashing things. So
Yeah, I'm too nice of a guy.
Kellen's the leader of the hate train.
Hate train.
I guess I would say I am
train.
not afraid to trash something. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
I don't like to trash things. I mean, when I had to write the Pixel 4 review and I said like, please do not buy this phone, it's awful, I don't get like pleasure out of that, but that needed to be said so that you guys don't run out. I don't think anyone's buying the Suunto 7 anyway because it's $500 Wear OS watch, but it's kind of a different thing. So anyway, yeah, just a little way of little exploration of how that works for Tim and I. We don't take pleasure in telling people their products are awful. I wish we never had to. I wish everything was great, Tim.
Yeah, me too.
Related note, we asked today if people miss the headphone jack, and so far 58% of respondents do miss the headphone jack. 42% said no. Official data there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's not bad.
All right, let's talk about, or unless you have any other V60 stuff. OnePlus 8.
Nah.
Okay. OnePlus 8 stuff. There are lots of leaks. First thing though is a little bit of official news. OnePlus announced that the OnePlus 8 series, and they are calling it the OnePlus 8 series, will be announced on April 14th. So if you were confused about whether or not this is actually the OnePlus 8 and if there's more than one, that's all confirmed now. It is a series, and it's coming April 14th in an online reveal. So all the details, 11 a.m. Eastern on April 14th. That is 8 a.m. Pacific to those of us out here on the Best Coast. Was a Business Insider had a report that said the pricing might not be awful, right?
Yeah, that's what we heard. According to them, and this was an exclusive for, who was it? Business Insider India. Yeah. These could be the least expensive 5G devices we see this year, whatever the hell that means. It means we might be looking at sub $1,000 for these devices, which means Tim could be spot on with last week's prediction that the OnePlus 8 Pro will be $949. Just on record. That's what I said.
What did I say? Like 1,100?
Yeah, you said, oh, you like blew past it. You're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be so much. I was like, no way, dude, no way. Like OnePlus they'd get slaughtered if they did that. So yeah, that's what we learned. I was seeing if there was an actual quote from Pete on this, but no, he just said
it'll be cheaper than all the other ones, right? All the other 5G
exactly. Phones. Yeah, which ain't hard to do when Samsung's out here with their cheapest phone being $1,000. So, and of course, so the great news is if this is the case, if the OnePlus 8 Pro is sub $1,000, that means you're getting a phone with a presumably large display, 120 hertz refresh rate, because that's confirmed, latest Snapdragon processor, 5G, tons of RAM and storage, because that's what OnePlus does. They think that's the real value, I guess, in phones.
UFS 3.0 storage, LPDDR5 RAM. They confirmed all those, and the 120 hertz. Yeah.
And software support that's actually pretty darn good. OnePlus has been doing good. So, and I love their little beta program. It's easy just to sideload software on their devices. OnePlus looking like a good buy this year. Yeah,
they might have the phone.
They might have the phone.
I mean, their phones are good last year. The 7 Pro is a great phone. I used the 7T for quite a while. Big fan of the 7T, but they're going to charge a lot for these, and I'm not saying I'm happy about the fact that they're going to charge a lot of money for these, but they're at the point where they probably can. I mean, they're going to get some hate for. I was thinking back how the OnePlus One was $299 or whatever it was initially, and now OnePlus's 8 Pro is probably going to be close to $1,000, which is wild to think that you could buy 3 OnePlus Ones for the price of this phone. But when you compare to what they're putting in this phone and what Samsung's charging, and they've been creeping up like they've done this slow creep up, right? We talked a lot about this, that they're probably fine in charging this, but I think they just might lose some of their biggest fans over but maybe not though. OnePlus 8 fans are kind of a cult, so I actually don't have a good read on that. But I guess what I'm saying is what they're putting in a phone probably worth what they're going to charge finally, whereas maybe previously they were underpricing everything, which we loved. But
I would think so. I feel like 5G has just thrown off the pricing of everything so much. We truly have no idea what things cost anymore to make, Like back in the day, I feel like we had an idea that we're kind of pricing breakdowns for all the components of a device, and we could say, okay, here's how much it costs to make something. This 5G thing seems so arbitrary. Like we just have no clue. Like is Qualcomm seriously charging like $250 for these modems? Like I'm just so. It's possible.
They could be charging 100 to
Sure.
manufacturers who are doubling it up for us. I mean, I don't know what the markup is on component costs, but I'm guessing it's substantial.
Apparently, yeah. Because I mean, $1,000 for a OnePlus phone. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, back in the day, you'd been called crazy. Like, no, OnePlus is like the cheap alternative to like having a really good Android phone.
It's still going to be crazy to see the price of phone at almost $1,000.
It is exciting though, because I mean, we basically know what to expect from these devices. I mean, and they sound cool. I know people aren't looking really forward to like curved displays and all that, but other than that, these phones are lining up pretty good.
Yeah, a couple of major leaks from Wind Future has all three colors of the OnePlus 8. So there's like a gradient interstellar glow, I believe. There's a green color and a black. And then the 8 Pro, there is a blue, a black, and the same green that you've seen on the OnePlus 8. And Wind Future has all the specs too. And we know Snapdragon 865 and the RAM and all that stuff, but they said they said like 8 or 12 gig RAM in the Pro, 128 or 256 gig storage. Let's see. We got there's a camera leak too, right?
Yeah.
Camera leak to triple camera on the Pro, 48 megapixel main, 48 megapixel ultra wide, and 8 megapixel telephoto. So that's sweet. What was the 8 camera? The 8 camera was 48 megapixel main, 16 wide, and a 2 megapixel depth shooter. So, the specs sound pretty great. So we'll see. 90 hertz refresh rate, 1080p on the 8, though. Quad HD 120 on the 8 Pro, according to these leaks. So, I mean, yeah, the phones sound like they're going to check almost all the boxes. I mean, I'm sorry they don't have a quad DAC, but otherwise they sound like they could be fantastic phones, assuming they don't piss us off at the price.
Yeah.
All right. Again, April 14th. Oh, that's 11 days away. Less than 2 weeks, folks.
We're getting so close. How exciting. Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right. In awful news, Apple this week bought Dark Sky. You guys know Dark Sky, the weather app, the hyper local weather they like to call themselves. So Dark Sky, it's been around for a while now. Tim loves Dark Sky. Dark Sky, the minute it starts raining, you often get a notification that says, hey, it's raining. And you look outside and it confirms it and all that stuff. So and the UI of their apps are very good. It's very detailed. The forecasting, everything about it's very, very fantastic. Apple bought them, and they are killing the Android app on July 1st. So you have what? That's like 2 months left, 3 months.
Fascists.
So they're killing the app. They didn't just buy Dark Sky and they're just going to continue to support it. No, they're going, this is iOS only. And if you go on Dark Sky's website already, they already pulled the Google Play link and it just says Dark Sky by Apple. Like Apple already claims ownership and it's fine. Wait, do we know how much they bought it for? Have we seen that anywhere?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that either. I'm just curious how much. If there's any bit of decent, or I guess it's not even good news. It's news that will get us through the next couple of years. It's that the Dark Sky API lives on until the end of 2021. So you have almost 2 years of the Dark Sky API, which is important because a whole bunch of other weather apps use Dark Sky's API to produce weather. So there's a whole bunch of apps that use that and will be able to use that through the end of 2021. So if you were pissed that Dark Sky is going away from Android, there are some other apps out there. We've got a post up suggesting a handful of them. And they'll give you that same data in a slightly different app or a different app format. But so annoying. Even I like Dark Sky.
Even
and I was
Kellen
paying the
likes it.
subscription so I could like get access to the widget and things like that. It's a
Yep.
fantastic app. Yeah, I've seen some people ask, like, why is it okay that Apple can just buy this and shut it? Well, they can do whatever the hell they want with it. I mean, if they buy Dark Sky, they can make it an iOS exclusive. It's totally up to them. But it just sucks.
It's so effing rude
Yeah,
is
it
what
is.
it is. I mean, it's user hostile to the extreme, and that is
Oh, yeah.
so Apple, dude. Like,
Yeah.
didn't surprise me at all when you said. I mean, like, it surprises me that Dark Sky sold. You know, like, oh, we're joining Apple because we can reach more people. What? Like, you have like 1 million plus downloads on Android, and you're just gonna like ditch those users? I mean, like, what? That's a good way for people just to not care about you ever again, and so that's disappointing. Obviously, I used Dark Sky because it worked. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we get rain quite often, and those hyper local alerts actually worked. You know, I was out walking the dogs, my phone would go off and like boom, like in 10 minutes or hey, in 15 minutes it's going to start raining. I'm like, all right, come on boys, we got to go. It worked. So, you know, it's just a bummer that that's going away. I'm sure that there will be a step up of another weather app. I saw a few kind of reply to our tweets like, hey, don't worry, we're here for you. And like you look at the reviews and you're like, oh God, like this app doesn't even look that good. So
We
like,
did get some reply guys, that were like, look at our weather app. And it's
like it was $20 a month or something like that. Like, I'm not paying that much for a weather app, dude. Chill, bro.
$20 a month for an app with like a 3-star rating.
It was lower than that. It was like 1.5.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
It was so bad. So it sucks. I don't, I'll use it until the day it goes away. Like, I'm not like, oh, boycott Dark Sky or whatever, like cancel Dark Sky. That's it.
You got a couple months.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So you got some time to enjoy it while it lasts. If you haven't tried it, now's actually a good time to try it. If you can, you get it on Google Play, download it because you'll just get refunded. So go ahead and subscribe to it. I think it's $2 or $3 a year. Sign up for the subscription. They'll just refund you. Yeah, it's for a year. And then they'll refund you. So you basically get to use it for a little. You'll at least find out what you'll be missing here when it goes away on July 1st.
And why you'll be joining the ranks of iOS.
Exactly. So I'm curious if iOS is just going to integrate it into their own weather app. I mean, you assume that's what's going to happen. But like, why Apple? Why didn't Google think? Google, you buy everybody too. Like, why didn't Google buy this? I just don't get why it had to be Apple. We didn't even know Dark Sky was for sale, or else we would have been petitioning Google to buy them. So, dude, I'd have been out there with the with the cardboard sign and all that, like, buy Dark Sky.
Well, and Google's weather is so bad. If you ever use Google and look up the weather and you get the search result version from Google, that is one of the worst weather services. It's never right. I'll pull that thing up and it'll say it's going to be partly cloudy all day. And it's raining as I'm reading the weather on Google. Like, Google's weather app, it's not really an app. It's a shortcut to the search result. It's awful. Like, don't ever, ever, ever use Google. So yeah, Google could have benefited by buying someone like Dark Sky and actually improving theirs. But yeah, what Apple will do is, so Apple paid them who knows how many millions of dollars, and they'll pocket that and go away, and they'll keep the app available, iOS exclusive. But then, they're just going to bake the technology so that everyone with an iPhone is going to get those instant weather alerts just natively within iOS. It'll be awesome. And Google could have done that. They didn't. Like, this could have been a Pixel thing, right? We talk about like Google wants to add to the Pixel suite. We could have had hyper local weather only on Pixel phones. That's like a cool thing. And now Apple's going to do it.
That's too smart for Google, I think. What Google would have done is
Google's
they would have bought it.
Wave at our shit.
They would have integrated Dark Sky into a messaging app and then killed it a year down the road. I mean, that's just what Google does. So it's no big deal. It sucks. Bye, Dark Sky. Bye. Shout out to everyone who liked my Arthur fist meme on Twitter. I thought that was just good timing. God, Dark Sky, you suck. Anyway.
In Google News, Android 11 developer preview got an update to version 2.1 this week.
Hey,
it just fixes bugs. You can't actually. Well, I shouldn't say you can't update to it. Yesterday, it's probably still broken, but yeah, the OTA update version. If you flash OTA files, Google broke it. You couldn't do it. You can factory image flash those, but you might need to wipe to do that, so that sucks. And then there's the Android Flash tool, which also works, but I believe you have to have an unlocked bootloader, whereas with OTA files, you don't. Anyway, they just fixed some stuff. You don't even worry about it.
Wow.
That's all I got for topics.
Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Do we want to switch to trivia?
Switch into trivia.
Oh, there's the lights. There's the lights.
Boots and pants. Boots.
Little trivia days. All right, it's trivia time. Yep, we're done with topics. So trivia, Droid Life show, trivia, end of every show. After the topics, we do 5 questions. You can win prizes. 5 of you will win prizes. Today, actually, we put a question up on the screen. Tim reads it aloud. If you're listening live, watching live on YouTube, hit the chat, answer correctly as quickly as you can. We'll call out your name if you are first, and you win prizes. And this week, we were going to try to give everyone subscriptions to like Disney Plus or something. Like we said, we can't do that, at least not how we wanted to. So we're just going to give you $15. So everyone, you just get cash. We'll PayPal it, Google Pay it, Venmo, whatever the hell. We're just going to give you money.
Bling, bling.
It's kind of weird to just give away cash and not an actual thing, but whatever, man. We're just...
Whatever, man.
Whatever, man. So yeah, you can win $15. We'll give it to 5 people. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. Question up, you answer, we'll call your name out. It's pretty easy.
Heck
Give us
yeah.
a subscription to Dark Sky. Could have done that.
Yeah.
We would have to just give you Google Play credit, though.
Exactly. We're tired of giving away Google Play credit. And so another thing is like physical prizes. We don't want to be doing that right now. We don't want to put ourselves at risk by going to the post office. We don't want to put those workers at risk by having to ship you those products. So basically, physical prizes are not going to be happening on the DL show for a while, at least for the foreseeable future. Why take a chance?
Yeah.
So
we'll stick to digital prizes for a while.
We like digital. Yeah, digital's good.
Even if that means cash.
Live that cave troll life. Real quick, Scott McDonald says, what's the best replacement for Dark Sky then? So anything that uses that Dark Sky API is not a terrible option. What was that one we downloaded with all those 50 plus widgets or whatever? Yeah,
so we have a list of 4 that we sort of threw out there that you might want to check out. The first one is Overdrop.
Overdrop.
Overdrop uses Dark Sky and has 50 widgets or something. It's awesome.
Decent widgets.
It's the one I'm using right now for widgets. A lot of people like Today Weather. It's been around for a long time. It uses Dark Sky. It's very minimal. Appy is a fun one. Appy's very minimal, uses Dark Sky, kind of has a playful look to it. I'm a big fan of Appy. If you want one that looks sort of like Dark Sky, there's an app called Shadow Weather. It kind of has that gray, darkish Dark Sky look to it, and it uses the Dark Sky API as well. So yeah, we have a little post up. Those are the 4 that we've kind of said, but
shout out to Beautiful Widgets. Man, back then that was some good times.
Does Beautiful Widgets still exist? I did see somebody just mention that. Is that app still alive?
It's gotta be.
Does it work on anything beyond Android 4?
It's gotta. I mean, that's easy. That's easy updating to keep a widget alive.
Just typed in beautiful, and the first result on Google Play is Beautiful Widgets.
Look
at that. Level Up Studio. It's down to 3-star. Beautiful Widgets Pro is down to 3-star. Beautiful Widgets Free though is at least a 4. Well, it's just under 4. So people aren't loving it, but it's still there. When was the last time it got updated? The last time it was updated was October 2016. It hasn't been updated in 4 years.
Oh, okay, 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool while it lasted, man. I know. I'm pretty sure that Flossie Carter still uses Beautiful Widgets.
Really?
I swear, I think I saw it on there.
It says, I use HD widgets. Greg, you can't still use HD widgets. Cannot exist anymore. That cannot. Are you just side loading that? I just searched for it. It doesn't exist.
I know someone out there is still rocking Beautiful Widgets. So
Beautiful Full widget. Now I'm looking at clock widget on there. UCCW. You remember that? Ultimate clock. What does that stand for? Ultimate custom clock widget, where you could create your own. That was popular for a hot minute there.
There were some good widgets out there back in the day, man. Our next poll: do you still use widgets?
Yeah. Remember when everyone wanted the HTC flip clock? Remember that was the thing.
That was that was hot.
If your widget had the HTC flip clock, you were winning that week.
That was a go.
I'm just looking through all these now.
All right, I'm ready for. I know. I'm ready for trivia now.
Fine, I'll stop reminiscing. All right, we can do trivia. Yeah, all right. So trivia, 5 questions, 5 winners, cash. It's really easy. It's really easy.
Cash money.
That was easy.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready too. Give me question number 1, please.
Question number 1 is up now.
With the term quad DAC, what does DAC stand for? Again, with the term quad DAC as used in the LG V60, what does DAC stand for? Mm-hmm. And I forgot to mention, this is the LG edition of trivia. So I hope you brush up on your LG knowledge real quick. I'm looking for the correct answer of digital to analog converter. I'm going to take
Zach
Webb. Zach Webb. How behind are you?
Digital analog? I mean, there's digital audio converter, but that's not right.
Oh, yep. Zachary Webb. Of course, my dyslexia kicked in. Zachary Webb with the correct answer of digital analog converter. And then in second place was Ben Jacobs with TIO map. Congratulations, Ben Jacobs.
Yeah. A lot of people chose digital audio, but it's actually digital to analog.
Analog.
We don't necessarily need you to put the 2 in there, but it's digital.
Nah. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. Zachary Webb. All right, $15 coming at you for beer and or Disney Plus. Very nice.
LG edition trivia, yeah.
LG edition. We got some toughies in here.
So throw out the 2012s. I don't think LG was doing anything in 2012.
Yeah. All right. Man, Ben he's going for it. All right. All right. Question number 2, please.
Question number 2's up now.
Here's a toughie. In 2018, what U.S. Major League Baseball team announced a business baseball operations partnership with LG? Again, in 2018, what U.S. Major League Baseball team announced a business baseball operations partnership with LG?
I did not know the answer to this, but I guessed in my brain and was right because they partner
serious?
with everyone. Yeah,
wow,
because of the location and all that stuff. Yeah, I was
that makes sense.
Jackson with the win there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely Jackson Neitert. It's my ongoing thing where I have no idea how to pronounce his name, and he's told me a trillion times. Hey, Jackson, congratulations. Yes, the Texas Rangers. Thank you very much.
And why I just assumed, I think, that it was them before I knew is because of the Dallas connection to all of these companies. They're just like, there's something about the Rangers. I feel like the Rangers partner with everyone for everything tech related. Like, I swear, like they're doing something with Samsung now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, our Phone Buzz podcast friend says, who said Lakers? I think someone did say NBA team. Classic. Oh, that's funny.
Now I'm looking because I did. Yeah, there was definitely. All right, it's Guy.
Oh, gee. Anyway, Neitert. Congratulations, Jackson Neitert.
I always think it's Neitert.
Neitert. I know.
The dude has won like 30 prizes from this show, and we still say his name wrong.
It's so rude.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, man. We love you, Ben. All right. Yep, Astros, the partnership was stolen by them. Absolutely. Shout out to those cheaters. All right. I'm ready for question number 3, please.
Question 3's up now.
What phone was LG's first to feature a quad HD display? Ooh, again, what phone was LG's first to feature a quad HD display?
They were basically the first out of the gate from the major manufacturers.
Absolutely. Zachary Webb's already a winner. So we got William Perella with the LG G3.
William Perella. Yes, it was not the V30 or the G2 or the whatever that is or the G5. It was the G3.
The G3. Definitely not the V60. It's only got a full HD display.
Yeah, think about that, right?
We're going
the G3,
back in time.
we went QHD, and we went QHD for I don't know how many phones in a row, and LG just going, yeah, we're just going back to 1080p. And don't get me wrong, 1080p is okay. I'm still running this
Sure,
thing
it's fine.
because I want 120 hertz of 1080p. I don't really care. But we're starting to, like, when you want to check boxes and we talk about value, like, you go, come on, LG.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's not there. I mean, I think the last major LG device that had a full HD was, well, you got the G8X, I guess, but I guess I'm thinking flagship device, sort of like, and I don't see the G8X as flagship. I was just thinking the G2 had a full HD display, but anyway, the G3 was 2013, I think. No, 2014. 2014 for the G3. Anyway, question number 4, please. Congratulations to William Perella.
Question number 4 is up now.
What was the first LG device we, as in Droid Life, referred to as having a lot of stuff and things? And on a fun note, people were super pissed about this.
Oh, they were so mad.
What Kellen had to update the post being like, hey, like, I'm sorry. He apologized. What a beta. So again, what was the first LG device we referred to as having a lot of stuff and things?
Did I see Luke Citronity? See the first?
Yeah, Luke Citronity. I'm seeing with the LG V10.
LG V10.
Luke.
The first V series.
Luke Citronity. Congratulations, Luke.
Wish I had like a link to that article. Yeah, I just remember when they announced it. It came in the middle of the night. They announced it like out of Korea.
Yep.
And I think it kind of caught us off guard because I don't think they had given us any sort of like embargo or briefing on it. And they announced this phone and it was just like, I just remember reading through the press release going, look at all this crap they just threw at this random ass phone. Cause it had like some sort of like tire maker, like designed the back, I think. And it was just like everything. It just was like a checklist of like hot words of the industry at the moment. And so I called it the stuff and things phone. Pissed everyone off. Oh, they were not happy. They were not happy.
They were pissed. And that post got shared a lot.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. I just found LG knows the V10 is a smartphone with lots of things. What is my update? Where's my update? Where I apologize.
You totally buckled and said, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh yeah, it had dual screens.
Yeah. It was an ugly phone.
Stuff.
Come on, everybody. It was so ugly. Come on.
Yeah, I reviewed that phone and actually didn't mind it, but it was huge and weird. Because remember, it had like the two like metal bars up and down the sides and stuff. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. I pissed everyone off with that. Now it's just like an ongoing joke. What an ugly phone.
Yeah. All right. Last question. We've already got Zachary Webb, Jackson Neitert. I was going to say Neitert. Jackson Neitert, William Perella, and Luke Citroniti. Can y'all get some easier last names? Dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are down to our last final question. I am ready when you are.
All right. Question 5 is up now.
Which Qualcomm processor powered the LG G2 from 2013? Again, which Qualcomm processor powered the LG G2 from 2013? Let's see who can think back this far. I'm seeing Chris Williams. Chris Williams with the correct answer of 800. The Snapdragon 800. That is correct. Very nice. Congratulations, Chris Williams. Dang. All right.
That was the year we got the 801 later, right?
Yeah, I think
they
so.
Were one of the first phones. Used the 800. Was that the G2?
Chris Williams is happy. Nice.
I think they had an event. I was in San Diego for like CTIA, I think. They announced the G2 maybe. Or was that the Optimus G? Never mind. That might have been the Optimus G. And I remember going to an LG like press party where they were on like a rooftop and they were like, here's this Optimus. I think that must have been the Optimus G. Oh, that's so long ago. So long ago.
Those good times.
That's it. That's LG trivia.
Wow. All right. So again, congratulations to Zachary Webb, Jackson.
What are they doing? Emailing me?
Yep, they are emailing Kellen. So congratulations again to Zachary Webb, Jackson Neitert, William Perella, Luke Citroniti, and Chris Williams. You're going to go ahead, email Kellen. He just dropped his email down in the chat. And you guys are going to get $15 to spend on whatever the heck you want. That's so cool.
So email me and tell me how you want your cash. You want it PayPal, Google Pay, just one of the two.
Do you need a paper check?
Yeah, can I mail you a check? I'm not mailing you a check.
Do you
not
need cash?
Doing that.
Loose change that Kellen may have laying around, $15 in nickels.
Definitely love the nickels. That's it though. It's that easy. Just email me. We'll figure it out. We'll get you the cash to spend on whatever the hell you want to spend it on.
Yeah, Bitcoin. With $15 in Bitcoin, I think you could get like 0.004 maybe of a Bitcoin. I don't know.
How is Bitcoin these days? I do not follow that stuff at all.
I spent like at the peak. I was stupid, right? You know, you never buy when it's high. I bought when it's high. I bought when
it was valued at like 12,000.
Yeah, I bought. Right before it hit its peak. I bought when it was like at 12,000 last December. I think it was $5, and I'm down. I think I'm down to $1 or something.
You put $5 in.
Yeah,
birds are.
God, it's volatile. It's so volatile. Yeah. So, and that was the last. Whatchamacallit? Crypto I messed with. I was like, I'm just gonna stick to the good old fashioned U.S. dollar, and even that's a little too complex for me. So
Bitcoin down to 67.89. Now it's done. Yeah, it's up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down right now, but everything's down.
What happened? Real quickly, someone asked if we've been watching Tiger King. Tigre King. Have you watched Tiger King?
I did watch Tiger King.
You finished it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have not finished it. I'm only on episode 4, but what are your thoughts? No spoilers.
I mean, it was entertaining enough.
Yeah.
It was entertaining enough. Obviously, there's a lot of shock there because everyone involved is batshit crazy and an animal abuser. I don't know. Like you watch it and you kind of can't peel your eyes away from it. But now that I've watched it, I don't care anymore. All those people are terrible. Like they're all bad. They're all animal abusers. One guy's running a cult. One guy's running basically a meth house where he abuses hundreds of tigers. And then Carol down in Florida, I mean, we're not letting her get away, are we? I mean, everyone involved in this thing is awful. So that I don't have like, I'm not like out of there and I'm not picking a side. Like everyone involved is terrible. So the hell with that show. But it was entertaining to watch.
Mr. Exotic, like that, everything that guy does makes me laugh. Oh my God, seeing that poor person's arm ripped off, like that was only episode 2. And so I have here's a little insight into my life. I am absolutely infatuated with animals. So watching a show like this has been really hard for me. That's why I'm doing it real slow. I can't binge watch this type of thing. I take like a few days break in between these episodes.
It's bad.
It's really hard, seeing a snow leopard in the back of a van in 100-degree weather, or these animals in cages. I mean, we're talking these goddamn jungle cats, and they're living in cages. Really unfortunate. So it's a sad documentary from that perspective.
It is.
But these people are just insane. You can't stop looking. It's like a train wreck. You love a good train wreck. So Carol did it. I'm only on episode 3, but it's so obvious that Carol did it. I mean, it's sort of past the idea of like, oh, that's just a coincidence. I mean, that's everything she did is just like, hello, prime suspect alert.
Calculated. Yeah.
Exactly. Very weird. So
the one thing though that I will say that in one way that the show can all bring us together, it's teeth hygiene.
Oh brush. God, yeah.
Every time I got done watching that show, I was like, I'm gonna go brush.
I'm gonna go floss. Maybe just a little bit of floss
right now.
Please, dude, you don't shoot meth into between your toes. I think you'll be okay. Like those people obviously like smoke crack, like no offense, but like that's what they did. And drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
Brush your teeth, everyone. It's just good for us all. So I did watch it. I'm done with it now, and I haven't thought about it again. I just keep seeing everyone continue to talk about it, but I don't want anything to do with it. Like we just talked about, it's the animal rights violation stuff. Those people are awful, all of them. So
yeah, drugs.
We have meth. Yeah, That is like the slogan. That's not really the slogan of Oklahoma, is it? I hope not. There's plenty of meth
Probably
in
not.
Oregon too. So
Oh my
I mean,
God,
I'm
we
from
got
Montana.
meth.
There's plenty of meth there too. So.
We have a town in Southern Oregon called Medford. Its nickname is Methford. I mean that's and I'm from Humboldt County. Like before it was or now it used to be just weed. Now it's meth. And there's nothing but meth heads and all these guys, and it's a problem.
It's an awful thing.
Obviously.
It's an awful thing,
yeah, it's an epidemic. So
It is.
not to make light of that.
Yeah, we're not making light of
addiction
it.
is
It's
not
very
funny.
sad.
But at the same time, all we're saying is, meth happens to screw with your teeth. So, and it's unfortunate.
$5
Anyway.
from the homies at Phone Buzz.
Hey, Carol did it.
Hey,
Jeez.
I'm not here to declare anything complete, but Carol's sneaky.
They might want to look into her.
Carol's sneaky.
They did announce that sheriff's office down there did announce they were reopening the case.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Following the documentary. So they're looking they're doing some inquiries. They're looking for, any info that people have. So, and everyone seems like a snitch down there. So it shouldn't be too hard. Like everyone seems to know something. So,
yeah, they do. What a weird world. Who the hell's Carol? You got to watch this Tiger King show.
Yeah, go watch Tiger King on Netflix.
No one wins in Tiger King. That's all I know.
Yeah. Sorry, Principal Scratcher. Anyway.
All right.
Hope everyone has a fantastic
else?
weekend. No. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. If you go to the store, get delivery, make sure to wipe it all down with the hand sanitizers and all that good stuff.
Yep. Stay safe at home. Keep those distances going. We'll get through this. Yeah. Stay clean. Quarantine things in your garage or your closets if you can. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Stay clean. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week, probably.
Yeah, man. Peace.